Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe. Today I'm just going to be taking a look at a small portion of the text of the Silmarillion of Men, as I decided to do another counter to Amazon's lore inaccuracies of sorts. Two quotes that I'm going to read prove just how ridiculous the whole mithril bath thing is, as well as it's going to highlight an important detail that Amazon kind of screwed up with their mithril lightning thing. Immortal were the elves, and their wisdom waxed from age to age, and no sickness nor pestilence brought death to them. Their bodies indeed were of the stuff of earth, and could be destroyed, and in those days they were more like to the bodies of men, since they had not so long been inhabited by the fire of their spirit, which consumes them from within in the courses of time. Now, this is the exact quote that I was referring to in my previous lore video about the Fea. The thing about this fire of the spirit is that it is literally consuming the elves alive over the course of some millennia. So that brings into question whether they are really immortal, as we understand it. That said, the only way to soothe it, so to speak, is to willingly go over to Valinor, sail west. It is to the halls of Mandos that the spirits of elves are gathered to await their respective fates after they've died. And so Mandos was given its name of the Halls of Awaiting. This fire of the spirit, quote, is very important to understanding how their metaphysics work. The Noldor were given permission to sail back west alongside those Sindarin elves that remain. So the elves have the choice of either remaining in Middle-earth till their fiery spirit consumes their bodies, at which point they become essentially elf ghosts, as Rosie Gamgee, a sub of this channel, so eloquently put it. Now, I'm not simply trying to rehash an old idea or video, but there's a key plot point that's tied to this spirit thing, which I'm going to get to. The elves have to go to Valinor willingly at the end of Lord of the Rings. This is because their spirits are becoming heavy because they're tied to Arda. Arda is growing so old that the elves can't withstand it anymore, as their fates are tied to it, until they at least go to Valinor to be with their kin there. And it is near the light of the Valar that they are able to soothe this pain, this waning of their spirits. And so I would posit that it is only in Valinor to keep the now candles, so to speak, that is to say their heavily diminished spirits, from completely blowing out. So it is thus extremely important that they sail west. We all understand they have to go west to get to Valinor. If they could just rejuvenate themselves with mithril baths, which still sounds very bad for you, there is no reason to go back to Valinor. There is none. However, if the fire of their spirit is truly consuming their bodies till there will be nothing left, the thing about the mithril bath is, if this is in place, and mithril is created from the light of a silmaril, which was itself created from the light of one of the trees of Aman, this means that the elves don't need to sail west to Valinor. There, they would rejuvenate themselves in the light of the Ainur, at least until such time as Arda is unmarred. If they don't need the Valar, why would they sail west? That entire plot point at the end of the Lord of the Rings is thus contradicted. What's more is that if the elves are not fading, so to speak, then this should posit Galadriel and Elrond and the other elves in the Lord of the Rings would not be so weakened. They would be able to rejuvenate their strength and go to lead their own armies and actually put up a good fight against the likes of Sauron, rather than being essentially reduced to hiding behind men, such as the Rohirrim and the Gondorians. That said, the burning out of the elvish spirit is thus extremely important. It is an integral plot point in the entirety of the Legendarium. This is kind of a part 2 to that video. If you feel I've done a good enough job, don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Morgoth trying to smash Fingolfin to itty-bitty pieces.